Go through some of these and try to point out some of the things that we're looking at. In this sample number 1, we're going to look, the first thing that I notice is that there are oats in there. So the distinguishing factor that would affect the grade would be marked as other crop because of the oats in this sample number 1. Number 2, if you look, again, students are going to have to know something about classes of corn. We have some white corn in here with yellow dent corn. So the factor is going to be contrasting corn classes. White corn that's used for flour with a yellow dent. Sample number 3, one of the things that affects grading, especially for human consumption, is going to be rat and mouse, or rodent or bird excreta, I guess, and you can see some little mice pellets in there. So that would be the factor that they would mark. Sample number 4, if we look close, we see some blue-eye mold on some of this grain. So the factor is blue-eyed mold. They would just put an X under that category for sample number 4. That mold is going to affect the market class. Number 5 stands out really easy, is there are parts of the corn cob in this sample. So they're going to put inert material, and it says cobbed right on the scoring sheet. So that one's fairly easy. Sample number 6, again, is contrasting corn classes. We have some corn in here that doesn't fit with the yellow dent, so we're going to mark it as contrasting corn classes. Sample number 7, we can look, and what's happened is somebody has tried to blend some yellow dent corn for market, and they put in some of their seed corn. You can see it's been treated with a green, probably fungicide. So we're going to put that as treated seed. Is going to affect the grading class. Sample number 8, we look, this is all pretty uniform. There aren't any defects. There aren't any rat and mouse excreta. There aren't any other crop seeds in there or contrasting. That's all yellow dent corn, so that one will be marked as no defects. Sample number 9, if we look fairly close, we can look down in here and we see some weed seeds. So we would mark weed seed as the characteristics going to affect the market class of sample number 9, inert or weed seed. Sample number 10, when we look, okay, when we look, we got to look really close, and we're going to see some sprouts off some of this seed. For this example, this one right here, that seed is sprouted. We can see some other ones that have got little sprouts. It got wet and started to sprout, so we're going to mark sprouted as the characteristic that's going to affect the grade of sample number 10. Number 11, if we look, we see some really dark kernels. That's heat damage. Some of these dark kernels in here that we're looking at, so we're going to mark heat damage that's going to affect the grade of sample number 11. Sample number 12, if you look through, and you might have to move some of the seed around, but we're seeing some little fine stones in there. So we're going to mark inseparable stones. They're just too small to be taken out by the cylinder and concave, the separating unit of that combine. And sample number 13, again, we look, that's a sample that's pretty uniform. We don't see a whole lot going on. That is a sample that is no defects.